It's the final game of the 2020-2021 Texas high school football season in the 6A Division I state championship. We made it all the way to the end. These are the picks. Welcome into the picks presented by All-Star Inflatables, your guide to Texas high school football state championship games. My name is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're previewing the 6A Division I state title game. 7 o'clock Saturday night at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. It's the Class 6A Division I state championship game between the Southlake Carroll Dragons and the Austin Westlake Chaparrals. What are the keys to this matchup? Key number one, Ewers versus Klubnik. I don't love to put the spotlight on the individual in this type of situation because I think that's undue pressure on those guys. But it's really hard to overlook the star-studded quarterback matchup we've got in this game. You have two of, at worst, the top three quarterbacks in the state of Texas in the class of 2022 going at it for a state championship. For Southlake Carroll, it's Quinn Ewers. The Ohio State commit is one of the best prospects in the entire country and a guy who has been lights out ever since coming back from a brief injury at the end of the regular season and the early part of the playoffs. This guy has been unbelievable. He is plain and simple, worthy of the hype. If you've never seen Quinn Ewers, he is special. On the other side for Austin Westlake, Cade Klubnik has been really unbelievable. I mean, this guy has been razor sharp with the football, and he can make every throw you need to, whether it's short or whether it's long. I love the touch he puts on his deep ball. And furthermore, he is very elusive as well. He can move around the pocket, and he can tuck it and run if he needs to. Look, prospect hounds are going to be all over this game for a lot of different reasons, most notably at the quarterback spot. So, on the big stage, which signal caller shines brightest? Key number two, the Shaps' defensive fundamentals. I think people may look at the Austin Westlake defense, the number one scoring defense in all of Class 6A, and wonder, how are they doing that, right? And I think it's easy to look at that because they don't have individual superstars. They don't have all of these blue chippers on their side. They don't have guys who are going to go off and play at all these big-time colleges. In fact, the team they just beat in the state semifinal, Galena Park North Shore, almost certainly has more prospects on their defense than Austin Westlake does. So how does defense coordinator Tony Salazar's defense do it? Well, the way they do it is just being rock solid in their fundamentals. I mean, if you watch them, they just are really good at the little things, right? Their defensive line, led by Nick Morris, they get off of blocks and they have great gap integrity. Their defensive backs, they don't blow coverages. Their linebackers, they fill gaps. I mean, plain and simple, this is just a really rock solid, don't make mistakes defense, and it's shown up in the form of the number one scoring defense in all of Class 6A. So, on the biggest stage of them all, can Westlake's defensive fundamentals come through? And key number three, okay, fine, let's talk about it. So, a lot of the conversation around this game is going to revolve on the head coaches. And there's a reason for that. That's because the head coach at Austin Westlake is Todd Dodge. The head coach at Southlake Carroll is Riley Dodge. That's Todd Dodge's son. It's father versus son in the state championship game. And that is obviously a big talking point, right? Us in the media, we love an easy narrative, and that's an easy narrative to look at. I don't think it's the most important thing in this game. I think that the offensive for Carroll against the Westlake defense is more important. I think how Carroll attacks Tony Salazar's defense is more important. I think what the Carroll defensive front does is more important, but it is obviously a big talking point. And it's important because, look, these guys know each other really well because they're father and son. I mean, that's what's going to be so interesting about this game is we've never seen something like this. We've never seen a coach in Todd Dodge who knows everything that the other coach on the other side is probably thinking and vice versa, right? Like, we've never seen something like that. And it's kind of hard to predict how that dynamic is going to play out. Is there an advantage for the father over the son? Is there an advantage for the son over the father? We just don't know. And that's what I think makes this most interesting. I don't think it's going to be necessarily determinative as far as who wins this game, but I do think it's really fascinating. So, when father meets son, what happens? Who am I picking? I'm going with Westlake. The defending 6A Division II state champions get the nod in this game because of their defense, who just got done shutting down one of the most high-powered offenses in the state of Texas in Galena Park North Shore and looked good doing it. They have been outstanding, and I think that is going to be the difference in this game. I think defense travels, and I think that when you talk about what tends to win state championships, especially games that figure to be as close as this one, you go with the team with the superior defense. That is Westlake. Now look, I think that when you take a look at what Carroll does, they need to get their offense going in all phases. Obviously, Quinn Ewers and Brady Boyd are going to be important, but I also think the sophomore running back in Owen Allen is going to be critical as well. Can they get the running game going to really open up lanes for Quinn Ewers to throw? That's going to be a big question in this game. Furthermore, can the Southlake Carroll defense come up with a couple of big stops against, again, one of the most underrated offenses in the state in Austin Westlake, who is really humming right now, led by quarterback Cade Klubnik and wide receiver Jaden Greathouse. This game's really interesting for a number of reasons, but I think the Chaparrals get the win. I think Westlake brings home the 6A Division I state championship. And those are the picks. What am I wrong about? Leave comments down below. Don't forget that subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com, where you can find complete coverage of the 2020 Texas High School Football State Championship games at TexasFootball.com/state. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the 6A Division I state championship game. Be safe. Wear a mask. We'll see you.